Everything is got
we're all trying to do our part. We have composting and bird feeding.
Beautiful. Is that one of our
Well, I don't know. It's somewhere in Central America. One of the things we have this is what we're doing for schools. I was the last Sunday.
Have you ever been to the mulch farm to see them?
Probably not. You're busy, but I take the church. This church is Linda Jensen.
We went and they had a tour and the guy walked us around and showed us all the different, process.
You're an animal chickens. I should have worn my wonderful sweatshirt that I got up in Bayfield.
Well, and I have lots of chicken feed, but I never had a chicken scale, so they secretly made this beautiful.
Do something I would normally do.
And after my announcements and stuff, I'll visit the chicken stall.
Oh! She painted it. Wow. So yeah. One of my favorite quotes is usual experience for chickens.
I'm like, what am I doing here?
I have a little thing on my poultry barn that says flip around.
So you have chickens? You raise chickens?
Most of them.
I got him at the club. I'm so happy that we got snow. So I got him and go through the next
It's a huge one.
You need the moisture. It just is going to be those are my colors. I shouldn't mind. Unless it's like, I mean, then really. Oh, yeah. How did you like Tuesday?
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have work. But I mean, I have to turn. It's just, wow. I brought my.
I don't have any sound.
Thank you.
I don't have any sound. Period. Is it just me? Question mark.
I can hear you, Megan. Can you hear me?
Claudia says, please don't start with that. She's using the restaurant.
10:29. At Lebanon Hills, they have a sauna, and then you can go jump in the lake. If the lake is frozen, they can just.
Yeah, grabbing the chairs.
I don't know where that
So, I think she wants to use that. She wants to use this one. I think you can take that one.
You can take this one. This is a comfy chair. And this one actually can be taken too after I leave. Oh, me to roll it out with me?
Well, Susie and I are buddies. Yeah.
I may have to because I want a place to sit.
But after, I just, yeah, how about you? So I brought my best friend.
And I'll roll this one back here to sit in myself. Because I want to sit in back.
Okay.
Oh, right.
But she wants us to else. Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh. It is, oh, that's right. Oh, you got the touch.
Come, come, whoever you are, wonder, worshiper, lover of leading. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. One more time. Come, come, whoever.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, hanging in there.
Okay. So can you hear anything?
I'm just playing with some stuff.
Okay.
I've got my sound on, and I'm not, no.
Good morning. Welcome to everyone who's here in person, as well as welcome to all of those of you that are joining us online. We're glad that you're here. And we're very glad to have Claudia here. Claudia Schmidt is here today, as many of you already know. So I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible. We'll have sort of a truncated beginning of our service, making sure we keep in our little very important parts, and then we'll turn the service over to Claudia. And just another announcement about that. While we don't usually pass an offering plate, because we just leave it in the back, towards sometime in the service after Claudia takes over, we're going to pass a basket around that will be donations specifically to her, that will then be collected and given to Claudia. So just so you know, that's coming. My name is Brian. My pronouns are he, him, and I have just a few more announcements. One, which is we try to keep the service to an hour, but we don't want to hold anybody hostage in case it goes quite a little bit over. But usually when Claudia is here, we don't have any complaints about that. Usually it's just when I'm speaking. No, I'm just joking. So please know that if you need to leave at a certain time, no hostages. Next Sunday, I'm going to be speaking about application of how we enact the love that we believe in this congregation. And on Friday, February the 21st, we have our third Friday service, which is our music and poetry night that we do once a month. And this month, it's going to be a drumming circle. We're going to come together and just be together and drum and have some fun, have a little bit of poetry, light some candles, you know, the stuff that we all kind of like love sometimes. So we're excited about that. And our Ostara, or otherwise known as the Spring Equinox service, is actually on the Spring Equinox, March the 21st this year. So we're really excited. Again, that's a third Friday service, and Dawn is putting that service together with the help of some other people. So we're really excited about that service as well. Sunday, February the 23rd, Shelley Dugan will be back, and that'll be the day after our congregational retreat on February the 22nd, which is 10 a.m. to noon at the Grendelins. That's Saturday, February the 22nd. So that'll be a busy weekend. We have Friday, 21st for our drumming circle. We have Saturday for the congregational retreat. And then on Sunday, Shelley will be with us again, which is very exciting because that way I can take a little break and join and just be a part for a while. So I'm excited about that. Barbara May is offering a 4-session book discussion that actually now officially starts this coming week on Tuesday night. Any more information about that, Kelly?
Just let me know if you have questions, but we're using the same Zoom link as the church service on Tuesday, and it starts at 6:30.
Awesome, thank you. A couple of more things. We're looking for volunteers to serve on several committees. If you're interested in being more involved in the congregational life of leadership, please see Kelly for that. And don't forget to sign up online for treats, because, you know, that's an awesome time, treats after the service. And I also am looking for someone to be a service leader, like Chuck and Kelly and Alice and Kathy and other people have been, for the month of March. It would be my preference if it happens to be a person who's a woman, because it's Women's History Month, but it doesn't have to be. So if you're interested in being a service leader and just helping ring the bell and all of those things, light the chalice during the service, and then if I'm gone also to be able to make the announcements, please see me. I will be happy to help you get prepared for that. So I'd love to have people more involved as you feel moved to be part of that. All right, any other announcements? Hopefully I can find mine. Awesome. All right, well, instead of a musical prelude, what I'm going to do is lead us in a time of intentional silence for 30 seconds, because there's so much going on in the world right now. There's so much chaos around us that I always try to say, let's take this moment to center ourselves, come together in unity, and separate ourselves from the chaos of the world as much as possible. And so let's take that 30 seconds of time in silence together. And so when life comes at you fast, and it seems like time is fleeting, taking moments of silence, when silence sometimes seems forever, 30 seconds is forever for some, it helps us slow down a little bit. And so I invite you now to join me in the opening words, which are adapted from a poem by Laura Berardi, which is called Find Love, Be Love. Today we center ourselves in love with one another, gathered here in unity.
We assemble ourselves in the abstract yet concrete concept of love.
May we find love in this place and in this time.
Love in our hearts, love for the broken down, and love for the lonely.
May we find love in and share love with those yet to feel whole.
Love for those in between, and love for those out of our reach.
May we find love, add love, and be love in this world.
May we never discover new and authentic ways to love with reckless abandon.
Therefore, in the spirit of all of this love, we light this chalice together and say,
May the light we now kindle
inspire us to use our powers to heal with love, to help with compassion, to bless with joy, to serve you, spirit of freedom, in the fullness of community.
This is the intentional set of moments in our congregational life when we pause to recognize and to honor members of our wider beloved community. Dakota Unitarian Universalist Church affirms that Black lives absolutely do matter, and our affirmation is not only relevant during Black History Month, but for all time. We strive continuously to understand more thoroughly that individual and systematic racism must be actively confronted and eliminated for there to be equality, peace, and justice in the nation and, in fact, throughout the entire world. We are working to realize and combat white privilege and other elements of elitism and marginalization through our ongoing relationships that we build in this faith group and just as importantly outside these walls within the larger community. The Black Lives Matter movement reminds us that we are called as a congregation and as a society to honor the dignity and worth of every human being, which is a fundamental principle of Unitarian Universalism. We also remind ourselves that all Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly incarcerated Black lives, addicted Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black women's lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children's lives. Furthermore, as part of our commitment to uncover the layer of white supremacy that exists in this society and bring to light the anti-Blackness that is present in our everyday lives right here in our midst. Dakota U's vision is based on the world that we want and not the world that we are currently in. We seek to transform, not simply to react. We want people to thrive, not just exist, and to think beyond the possible. May it be so. Our time of joys and concerns is a pivotal moment in our congregational life where you can, if you feel so moved to do so, feel free to come up and light a candle and share a joy and or concern. And at the end, I'll light a final candle for all of those unspoken joys and concerns. And if you're online and you want a candle lit, please chime in and Chuck will take care of that for you.
So last week, Megan mentioned that she had a house fire in her kitchen. And I think, Chuck, you mentioned that you'd had something similar almost happen. There were some other comments. And as we're sitting to listen to Brian's message, Todd looks at me with a panicked look on his face and said, "We have to leave now." So on the way home, he reminded me we had forgotten to unplug the rice cooker at home. So we got there, everything was fine. The rice was perfect, except maybe a little dry. But that's my way of saying, hopefully, Megan, your mitigation is going well, and we're thinking about you, and maybe you can share that with us if you want to.
Oh, are you waiting for
Go
me?
ahead, Megan. Yeah.
That's so sweet of you, Steve. Thank you. Mitigation starts tomorrow, and it's even though it was a small fire, there was a lot of soot left behind, and so it's going to be a big job to clean everything. And I guess they're going to move all my upholstered furniture somewhere to get it cleaned. And anyway, it's going to be weeks and weeks, but I think I'm going to get my house painted as a result. So not all bad. But thanks again, Steve.
This candle is for my sister's family, and my nephew Tim. I lit a candle for him going into hospice last week. Well, he passed away this week.
On Tuesday.
This is for his 3 remaining brothers and his wife and daughter.
Grandsons.
This candle is for my good college friend Patty, who is just starting to undergo treatment for esophageal cancer, and that got waylaid yesterday when she had to go to the hospital because she was having some strokes. So she's going through it right now, and I'm wanting to manifest the highest good for her.
I feel like this week I should have had all of my legislators on speed dial, because I kept getting notices that, oh, you need to contact him about this and that and the other thing, and so I've been doing that. And I was heartened, of course, that's disheartening, but that I need to do that, but it's also heartening that the Senate has been, on average, getting 40 calls a minute. This last week, they got 16,000 calls a minute. Yeah. So people are paying attention, I think.
I know the feeling.
This is a candle celebrating new life. Lovingmore Farmstead has begun to welcome brand new chicks, and we have more hatching probably today, and like some quails too. But yeah, it's pretty loud in the hatchery right now.
Is it soundproof?
No.
You wanna say it? No, it's you. Okay, so say what it's for.
This is for Bama who's not here.
This is for her Bama who's not here. For she hurt her foot or something?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I went to our hospital with a bunch of
I light this candle for a good friend of mine, Craig, who I worked with for over 30 years, who just came through a 14-hour surgery to have his aorta replaced in the last several days. And so we pray for him, for a speedy recovery, and for his family.
I guess this is at first a concern, but also joy that she's okay. My dear friend Laura Goodrich, appendix burst, and she was in the hospital for 6 days, but she's home. And then a pure joy and fabulous joy is that my sister is moving into a senior high-rise. And she's excited. She's happy. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So that's really, really. Hopefully, it's a new life for her.
I'll now light a final candle for all of the joys and concerns that remain unspoken. May we know that whatever befalls us in life, we are held in the loving embrace of this community. And now we say, for all of these joys and concerns, both spoken and unspoken,
we hold you in our hearts.
Now it's my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome Claudia to the front while I wheel my chair out and sit in the back and enjoy.
The only thing that would have made it more exciting is if I could have been cartwheeling in while you were wheeling out.
Please no.
So yeah, how's your insurance? Oh, it's so great to be able to come here today and talk and sing about love is the strongest thing I have ever seen. Yeah. Love is the strongest thing that I have ever seen. can tear your whole world apart with a mighty sweep and then build it up again while the children sleep. And love is the strongest thing I have ever seen. And love cannot ever be replaced. Well, it can be added to or taken from, but it cannot be replaced. Well, you can't turn back in your searching steps. That's like trying to decide where you're gonna bite the apple next. Oh, love cannot ever be erased. And love is our only hope for moving on, and we got to be moving on. You throw your faith out the window, and honey, your heart will be gone, long gone. But you can scuffle for money, you can sell all your dreams, but the loneliness you're left with is just as bad as it seems. Oh, love is our only hope for moving on. Join me with a spiritual top, finger snapping, hand clapping, because I gotta say, love is our only hope for moving on. Yes, you throw your faith out the window, honey, your heart will be gone. You know, love, it can tear your whole world apart with a mighty sweep and then build it up again while the children sleep. And love is the strongest. Oh, love is the strangest. Love is the strongest thing that I have ever seen. Woo! Oh, yeah! Brian, it was so great you were talking about slow, because when I started to decide to write something down about today, the title sort of instantaneously became Slow Down for Love. So I wanted to talk about love by talking about time. My bank teller was freaking out that her computer was a little bit slow. This meant I had a little time to think, and what I thought about was what we've all come to expect. And I was remembering an article that I read probably 25 years ago in a magazine called Omni Magazine. It was a beautiful publication. And it was a warning, that was 25 years ago, about becoming ruled by this new speed, as in a loss of patience. How it was already creeping into relationships, personal relationships, and even just your own inner process, if you're wired to take more time. So, sorry, no place for that in the current gestalt. Just last week, I saw another article describing the brain as hopelessly slow compared to the current cybersphere, as if just using your noodle makes you a loser. I mention this because simply love takes time. Maybe not the moment of ignition, but the sweet unfolding. Aristotle said, making friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow ripening fruit. In fact, lots of people have said lots of things about love. Not to worry, I'm not going to go all Hallmark on you here today. H.L. Mencken said, love is the triumph of imagination over intelligence. Well, he said this in kind of a cynical, biting way, but I think it's beautiful because it's imagination that opens up everything, and love can take us there. There was a Jesuit priest named Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He fell in love with science along the way through conversations he had with a colleague who was a scientist, and sort of completely rewired his own gestalt of the world. His spin was more along the lines, ultimately, of God created the universe, God is love, so everything is love. All levels of life are governed by principles of attraction and union. That's the science part. For him, love is a cosmic force before it's a human one. Stars are love, he said. Energy is love. Cells are love. Plants all love energy. So think of how often scientists find their way to mysticism, just like he found his way to science. Perhaps a different language from him, but the same shared sense of wonder at the unfolding. There's a quote that I love from Max Planck, who's considered the father of modern physics, and which is, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that leads me to the next song I wanted to do for you here, because I was actually, I was leading a songwriting workshop at a little folk festival. We had an hour, there were about 6 of us, and frankly, nobody was feeling particularly inspired. It was in this gray room in a community college, I described it as the understated futility of earth tones, institutional earth tones, and we have an hour and we're just like, And so finally someone went over and all the shades were down and rolled up the shade. And just outside from where we were, there was a tent going, there was a tent and a bunch of drumming going on. And we couldn't really hear the drumming, but we could see the dancing, and everything shifted right in that moment. And we got busy and wrote most of a song that I got to finish up later, and that's what this is. This little room is full of yearning hearts. Open the door that keeps us far apart. Let in the light, guide us on our way into this day, into this day. You can help me out here, because after some of the lines, because there's an obvious space, and I just want you to repeat the line I just said. This little room is full of yearning hearts. Open the door that keeps us far apart. Let in the light, guide us on our way into this day, into this day, into this day. A morning dove is calling out to me. She cries of love. So I grew up in the Lutheran church, and in catechism class, I recall love being doled out in 3 meager portions. You got your filial, you got your erotic, and you got your agape. All neat and tidy. Duty, longing, sacrifice. No flow. But things get murky, don't they? Too many have been hurt and shut down as children in the filial phase by those they loved who did not honor or cherish their vulnerability. It's a real tough journey back. Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. You have been invited to a garden party. You have accepted the invitation to behold the delicately wrought gloriousness, shyly, warily, but more than that, with love. Unconditional love of every heartbeat, once turned in rage against self. So beaten by your own heart, at last cast out in pain and betrayal. Wounded now, you huddled outside and waited for some one of those few passing through to ask you in. But no one would, though, or could. Nor could they even touch what you began in your own garden without you there to call out the names, the colors of your desires, still growing bounteously in spite of banishment. So some left, some waited, bewildered, calling. And now, after a too long absence, the invitation resonates. The garden is crying out, come you back, guest of honor into self. You peek in and discover that hatred has grown old and forgetful of its own reason for being. And now, in this new softness, like spring thaw into a dry stream bed, comes a swift murmur that there has always been room for you here, always a need and a promise, so that even the wildest seedlings bloomed, perfumed hope into nostrils of despair, and tried to stay beautiful for your return. This sweetness is all for you, wafting freely through the garden's gate thrown open in fragrant song, hallelujah of the heart. You hear a beating? It is a beating like wings, born of power from a pure center. You have been invited to a garden party of your own sweet heart, delivered and accepted in one motion toward that center. Burn the leaves of sage and wintergreen, light the candles in the middle of the afternoon, walk inside, reach out into the lush tangle of self-longing. You have come home. Well, I do have a few quotes that I particularly love about love. Bonaventure said, you truly exist where you love, not where you live. For love alone is our true home. The African-American author Zora Neale Hurston said, love makes your soul crawl out from its hiding place. James Baldwin said, love takes off the masks we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. And Henry David Thoreau said, there is no remedy for love, but to love more. You'll notice in a lot of those quotes, there's the notion of fear and the motion toward trust, toward vulnerability, this journey toward love, which is patient and kind, so we've been told. But then that beautiful rhythm left in the dust as we're challenged to go faster and think faster and drive faster. I imagine a woman walking into a Zen center and saying, I'd like to do yoga, but I'm very busy. I wonder if you have an express yoga class I could sign up for us overachievers. So where does this leave our poor antiquated brains and even slower hearts? Bless the innumerable love poems. I have a book called 1001 Love Poems. It's a huge tome. Anyway, they can go on and on, just pondering a flower petal or the curve of a shoulder or the moon's majesty shining. Oh, I mean, really, who's got time for all that? Oh, my friends, the good work of love is to make space, make time, make love, to inhabit that sacred space with curiosity and joy. To allow yourself to love and be loved is the most transformative thing you can do. It needn't be a lover in the romantic sense. Rumi talks about his beloved as if he's heading for some kind of steamy tryst. But it's the whole world that shows up at the appointed place and time. There's a simple line that my mother sent to me about 2 days after she died. I was driving my car, I was driving over to Minneapolis back from Michigan, and suddenly I felt her in the car with me, and there was this line, and a melody, and some words, and I just really felt like she was saying, here you go. It was her way of saying, keep up, keep it up, keep on going. And I didn't know what to do with it. I thought, is this like the first line of a song? And I was on my way to, I was playing in, not in Mia, I think, that night, and I was in the dressing room, and I was thinking about that line, and I realized it's around. And this one line is really meant to be around, and it was a great singing audience, and I asked them if they would be my guinea pigs that night. And that was the beginning of what I call Jane's Around. So we'll sing it together a couple of times. I'll teach it to you, and then we'll do it as a two-part round. And so here it goes like this. We're born, we live, we die, we're gone, but love goes on and on. That's all there is to it. We're born, we live, we die, we're gone, but love goes on and on. And so the round part comes in. We're born, we live, we're born, we live. And that's, so we keep going back and forth. Let's sing it twice together and then do the round. And I just watched me, at some point I'll start wrapping it up. Don't worry, we're going to end up with the love part. So here we go. We're born, we live, we die, we're gone, but love goes on and on. We're born, we live, we die, we're gone, but love goes on and on. We're born, we live, we die, we live, we die, we're gone, and love goes on. We're born, we live, we're born, we live, we die, we're gone, and love goes on and on. We live, we're born, we live, we're born, we live, we die, we're gone, but love goes on and on. We're born, we live, we die, we're gone, but love goes on and on. Love goes on and on. Love goes on and on. Love goes on and on and on and on. Yeah. I threw in the first part and it got a little confusing. It's the fun one to do because you can keep adding parts. You can add, and you can add harmony to those lines. And it's really fun to do that sometime. You can go into an altered state. Well, the thing is too, by its very nature, this giant love, it can't be hoarded. It can't be. It can be withheld to cruel ends and sometimes with deadly consequences. But turned loose, set free, generosity abounds, and the world rejoices. I came across a great word last year, meliorism, and it means a belief that you can contribute to society and improve the world through acts of creativity, compassion, kindness, and love. That's simple. So I love coming to places like this because I feel like I'm in ameliorated country. A group of ameliorists. And in thinking about that love is so much about generosity, I was remembering Malvina Reynolds, who didn't even begin writing songs till she was in her 50s, I think, and then spent the rest of her life just really telling it like it is. And I just thought this would be a good tribute about the generosity. Great chorus, it goes. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Oh, love is something if you give it away, you keep on having more. It's just like a magic penny, more than you don't have any. Let it spend it, you have so many there rolling all over the floor. Oh, love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, keep on having more. Money's dead, we like to use it. Love is better if you don't use it. It's a treasure and you'll never lose it unless you lock up the door. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you keep on having more. So let's keep dancing till the break of day, and if there's a piper, well, we can pay. 'Cause love is something if you give it away, you keep on having more. Here we go. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you keep on having more. Keep on having more. Keep on having more. So how do we hang on to that generous, hopeful energy in this chaotic time, roiling with fear, roiling with anxiety? Love. Love. Live in love, work in love, resist with love. Nick Cave said, love enacts a kind of vigilant perception, whether to a partner, a neighbor, a fellow citizen, or any other person one may encounter in this life. Love says softly, I see you. I recognize you. You are human, as am I. And put another way, by Sarah Durham Wilson, the way to alchemize a soulless world into a spiritual world is by treating everyone as if they are sacred, until the sacred in them remembers. So I wanted to wind up with a song that was written many, many years ago, and I did a concert with Anne Reed last night, and we were talking about how, for both of us, we've experienced that. We wrote songs years and years ago that suddenly seem like they've come into their time, like we wrote them before they were ready, or before we were ready. And we did one of her songs last night, and this is one of those songs for me. I think I wrote it back in the 1980s, and it was specifically inspired by an event that didn't happen. I had come into town to play at the Ginkgo Coffee House, and the next day I was on my way up to the North Shore to spend a few days on Lake Superior. And I was reading the newspaper and read that the day before my concert there was supposed to have been a neo-Nazi rally, but it had been disrupted by an anti-hate group who showed up with rocks and baseball bats. You get what I'm talking about. So I left the Twin Cities with my head just spinning, you know, what? And then the great thing about going up to Lake Superior for me is it's always kind of been there, you know, and I have always sort of gotten myself out of corners by writing my way out, and it was spending time on the shore of Lake Superior and really listening, being quiet and listening. And here's another great thing I saw recently about language, is that listen and silent are the same word with the letters switched around a little bit. So just by being silent and listening on Lake Superior, she gave me what became the chorus of this song. And as I say, for me, it's a much deeper experience to sing it today than it was in the last century. and it's got a great chorus in it. He's failed again, he cannot win here. He is a pawn in someone else's game. They laugh him off as just a loser. They cannot see he'll never be the same. He stays up late, he studies harder. He learns these laws they used to break his heart. He has a wife, she too is learning. Together they will break these chains apart. Deep in the night their lamp is burning. They cannot rest, so urgent is the need. Not one more child, nor man, nor woman should know the cruel end that hatred breeds. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's your part. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. A sea of anger floods our nation, and some are lost in its dark undertow. Where is the strength to tread these waters and stem despair about to overflow? It's in the hearts and minds of people who see this world as common ground for all. It's in the earth and sky forever, and everything by the freedom bound. There is a willingness to triumph over a force that tries to crush your soul. And in the towns and in the country, more lamps will burn as wounded hearts grow whole. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. There is no simple end to hatred. It's in the fabric of this textured time. But when the threads of love are strongest, we'll weave a garment rich and fair and fine. The lamp is dark, the lovers sleep now. They gather strength and dreams which they will share. And with the sun they rise replenished. They are rising, rising everywhere. And with the sun they rise replenished. And they are rising, rising everywhere. And with the sun they rise replenished. And they are rising, rising everywhere. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, oh something with you that just, I was talking with Ann after our concert last night, and, you know, this whole flood the zone business that we're getting told about, you know, the big plan, flood the zone. And how people have been lamenting that there wasn't a huge march in Washington after the inauguration, like back in 2017. And to which somebody responded, it would have been a disaster because it would have turned into a media event, you know, sending in the the infiltrators and having a chance to make a photo op out of it and declare martial law or whatever. But if you've been following the news, there's resistance happening in every city, not just major cities around the country. Small groups of people showing up at state houses, and we were talking about it last night, and I said it's kind of like our own version of flooding the zone. So just keep that in mind. That don't feel helpless or in despair because huge things aren't happening. I think it's like perfect that because they don't get that. They don't get. Pete Seeger talked about how if the world is around in 100 years, it will be because of 10,000 small things, little things. So just keep that in mind, and I think we can stay buoyant and hopeful through this particularly confusing time. Thank you so much for letting me be here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you do it now? We have to put out the candle.
Thank you, Claudia. We really appreciate your presence and your ministry, if I may call it that, as well as just your message. So we really appreciate that. And so as we leave this place, this light isn't going out. We're taking the light out into the world, and those small things can make a huge difference.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Don't forget the treats.
That's the church this is for.
That's what?
And I also wanted to ask, you know, we were talking about chickens.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe next time I It's a miracle. Are you on the same side?
I know.
That's what Tyler was really going to, right?
I've been more work.
You put your things up
Thank you. I just needed to know.
I see Bobo.
Kathy, did you get any extras?
No. Nope. Hello, you. Ooh, those are nifty headphones. How you guys doing? You doing good, Annabelle Bell? Are you saying anything? You're so quiet. I don't think I can hear her even if she does. Or can I? Your microphone is not on, Dan. Oh, all done. I can't hear you guys because of that microphone thing.
How's your foot doing?
Oh, well, it's okay so far because I'm just sitting here. It's okay so far. I'm not sure. It started hurting. I'll give you the whole story when you come over later.
You feel so vulnerable.
Yeah.